Hi guys, my name is Fred and welcome to Achimota Farms. Today we come your way with another episode from the series How to Start a Cattle Farm in Ghana. And today we're talking about the ranch. Today we want to be a little bit fancy by taking a drone into the ranch to give you a whole view of how our ranch looks like. So bear with us in case it doesn't go very well. We will learn from it and do better next time. If you haven't subscribed yet, we are ending the series of how to start a cattle farm. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we are always happy to see your comments and feedbacks. As you can see, the bird is already in the air, showing you a clear scope of our ranch. This ranch is on a 1.5 plot of land, so not that much. To your left is where we have the calf ranch. Ahead of you is where we have our meta ranch, and then as you can see also the fence around it. So this is a full picture of our ranch here at Achimota Farms. Before we walk you through it, we just wanted to give you a glimpse of it. So, as I told you before, I hope our drone skills wasn't that bad. Today you saw our ranch through the eye of a bird. Let's take you inside and really talk about what did you see and what we've done so far. I'm really excited about this video because I feel like if I failed in anything in cattle farming, this is what I failed most, and I'm very excited to share that with you all. And what I've learned and so far where we are in the cost of building a ranch for a farm. So if you're watching this series new, this is how to start a cattle farm series, and we are in the last episode, which is building a ranch, and today we want to explore our ranch with you. So follow me as I take you to the ranch so that we can see what we've done so far. One thing I want to talk to you about cattle farming though is if you're scared of mud, then you might rethink of it, especially in the rainy season. Unless you have hectares of land for your cattle farming, you're definitely going to experience some mud areas at the ranch. So thank you for making the journey with me to the ranch now. Before I start talking about our ranch, I just want to give you a bit history of why we even went into cattle farming, and when the idea came about starting a cattle business, I didn't want to do things just like the ordinary traditional Ghanaian cattle farmer. So I was doing a lot of research, and I want to give a shout out to Frank and Stacy in Southern California, and they really helped in the researching that I was doing. And the crazy thing is that when I visited their farm in San Diego, I enjoyed everything they've done. But guess what? Like, one thing that struck me and I was very excited about was a ranch they have built about 70 years ago. Guess what? Because that is what I could do in Ghana. So I know Stacy was very marveled about how come like all the nice things you've seen, this is what like you're excited about. So when we're doing research, mostly we tend to see a lot of things and very cute stuff, things that we are happy, we think it will work, but we bring it to our culture and environment and it doesn't work for us. This ranch is a typical example of something that I saw, thought it was good, thought it's a nice fancy way of doing cattle farming, but didn't work for me, right? And that's why today I've brought you here to be able to explain to you how we feel here and what we are doing at the moment, right? So what you see here is an idea of our cattle farm when I started. So I'm gonna walk you through this ranch for you to see. So as I was saying, this was the side where we were keeping our cows. So we had the cows here, and of course we didn't forget their drinking spot. We didn't forget their feeding lot, which is next to it. Let's walk further. So we had this pot that we will put water in, fill it out every morning and evening for them, and then we will put their feed in the next one. So we're able to hold about, let's say, 15 cows at this side, right? So we did these gates that are very removable. So you hit it up and then you can remove this by just unscrewing this. We also knew that we will expand it in future, so we never welded any of the metals. So all of them were just like put in the hook so that we can remove it and expand it in future. So the idea wasn't bad. Looking at it, so I want to show you this side too on your left hand side. So on the left hand side, what we did is we also cemented a portion of the ranch, hoping that maybe they might like the cement better than the bare ground, and also the fact that, you know, we want to be able to clean it and make it clean. So with the cement, we were able to clean it as often as we wanted. As you can see also on the right hand side, it's a scale. So once they are inside and we open the door, then they're able to pass through the scale and we're able to weigh them. So that was also another mechanism that we considered. We were supposed to roof the top so that when it rains, it doesn't destroy their feed and so on. But we didn't get to that point. But as you can see from the ranch, it's not in a good state. And it's not in a good state because we didn't take care of it. But it's not in a good state because the cows and bulls were not ready to stay in. I said in my previous video, when we purchased the cows from the market and from local farmers, the cows were used to walking hours during the day and not confined at a place. So what happened when we put them in a confined place, they became very irritated and started destroying the ranch. So let's go forward as I show you some of the ranches that, you know, they were able to destroy. So if you look at the left hand side, even looking at this, you could see the size, you know, they were able to expand it. They broke so many of them and we have to refix it. So the second reason why we wanted to confine them, aside the intensive method, was also to make good use of the land that we had at that time. So we had only 3 acres. And as you can see, this ranch is on actually about 1 plot of land. So then the rest of the plot and acres could be used for feeding. And that is why we wanted to confine them so badly. But when we realized that this wasn't working, we decided to fence the entire 3 acres of land. So what did we do? We went very cheap and bought the back of a teak. I mean, if you have anywhere where there is a chainsaw, you go there, you look for the back of a thick tree, you'll be able to get it for very cheap. I think a whole truck of Kia costs about 200 cedis, right? So you can bring it. I don't know where you are and the price of it, but that's what it costs here. And we're able to fence the entire land with it. Fencing the entire land sort of made things much easier for us. So then the cows didn't feel like they were constrained because they had a whole acre of land to move around. And then when we need to apply a medication or give them a specific feed, then we try and drive them inside to do that process. But naturally, they feel like they are outside. So if you're a new farmer, you want to really consider first, which source are your animal coming from? What are they used to? And even if they are calf, then it's a different matter. With calves, I don't think they will have the strength to destroy the ranch as much as ours did. But if you're getting, you know, 1 and above, maybe 2 years, 3-year-old cows and bulls, then you really need to consider what they are used to before you invest as much money as I did into ranch. I will advise basically just starting with a wooden structure all around. And then as you learn how the cows behave, you can plan better in future and invest into your ranch. At this moment, what are we doing? We decided that, fine, the big cows are not going to stay confined. So we are going to keep them here and build wooden boxes to put their feet in. And then the babies that are going to be born on this ranch will get used to what our vision looks like in cattle farming. So we are going to take you to what we've done for the babies and how we feed the moms, even though they are not so confined in the actual ranch that we built for them. So walk with me, let me show you. Yeah. You wanna cut? Guys, So instead of building a concrete feeding lot like I built over there, which cost me a lot of money on cement and sand and so on, we built this here right at the ranch. So as you can see here, we have about 6 of this just in the ranch, and as you can see, we have some hay inside which they finished eating, but basically we built this right here, and this was a good start to get them used to eating in a confined place before actually building that. So if I'm you and I'm starting a new cattle farm, I wouldn't waste enough money investing into those concrete, but something like this, which is cheaper if you can do it yourself. A carpenter can literally use a 2x4 board and be able to build this for you for a very cheap price. Start with that if you're a new cattle farmer, and then as time goes on, you can invest into building a better feedlot, which someday we will be able to show you what we will build in future again. So as I said, let me take you to the calves so that we see what we are doing with the calves as well. Yeah. So guys, if you're really going to start a cattle farm with the mentality of starting an intensive cattle farm, and you know, if money is not a problem, fine, you can go big. I think you can get experts to really build your ranch. That wouldn't cause you to make mistakes like what I did. But if not, and you really want to learn from our mistake and from the little knowledge that you have around, then this is a perfect ranch for you to build if you're buying calves. So this ranch is not going to cost you more than even maybe 2,000 cedis, which is about $500. But this ranch is holding about 12 calves at the moment, and it's not expensive to make, and it's not complicated, but it's a step to test your animals to see how confined they are. All these calves have never stepped a foot outside, and we have been feeding them directly, you know. So we are doing this to see, and as they grow big, with this idea of a wooden structure, we will now be able to build a more concrete and durable ranch from this experience. So from my experience and from what I've learned, this is a good example for anybody to be able to build and start a ranch in a small way. And by so doing, you will learn the behavior of your cows, you will learn the materials that you have available. You will remember that, hey, I need to put water here, I need to put their feedlot here, I need to create this thing here for them to lie on. So when you're building the major one in future, you have learned from all these small practices that you did with very cheaper costs and be able to do it better. Don't repeat the mistake that I've done, and I hope this video is able to educate you and your friends, and don't spend as much money as I spent on metal and sand and so on building a ranch, even before I bought the cattle, without knowing any idea the disaster that it was going to cost me. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and our series on how to start a cattle farm. This is our first series from our YouTube channel. And in case you didn't know, we just started this YouTube channel just 2 months ago, and we are so impressed with the number of followers that we are getting, the number of calls, WhatsApp messages, and we are just very happy to know that we are connecting and reaching out to as many people that are thinking about entering the cattle business. Our goal is just to share our knowledge. We are no experts, and we don't know if we have no like training or whatever. We're just sharing our mistakes and what we've done with you, and I hope if throughout this whole series we misinformed or we said anything wrongly, please correct us, and as we move on, we will continue to share practical experiences of how to rear cattle, and maybe in future other animals in Ghana with you. We will continue doing it. Thank you, and continue following us for more series like this one. We are happy to share them with you.